Good morning, students. I am Sophia Shashikumar, and I'm so happy that today my second standard students are going to learn mathematics with me. We had great fun learning mathematics together in first standard. So you all know how I teach, and you are very well aware of how we do everything funfully, right? So we are going to again through this video make a very funful video for you so that you can understand your maths properly. So today for the second standard I am taking shapes and spatial understanding, right? You had little bit of introduction about this in your first standard, but today we are going to see in more depth how it is and how we are going to understand things over here. Okay, so I have written the important points over here. What we are going to cover in the whole chapter can be bifurcated in these 5 points. The first point is straight lines. You all know straight lines because when you are writing ABCD itself, you learn straight lines, slanting line, everything, right? So first thing is straight lines. What is a straight line? So what I'm going to do is generally take a paper, okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold this paper into 2, okay. Now when I press it nicely and when I show it like this to you, can you see a straight line in this? Right? All of you can see a straight line? Okay, let's do it little differently. We are going to take another paper and we are going to fold it into 3. I have already done it and kept it for you, but still I'll show you. We can take it and fold it into 3. Now when I open this, see what you got. You got 2 straight lines. So now you understand what straight line is, right? Okay, now I'm going to tell you that how can we count a straight line. So generally we'll take one alphabet, okay. So I'm explaining straight line. Okay, so now in your alphabets ABCD, I'm just taking generally L. Now why am I taking L? Because this is one alphabet which has 2 lines. See, this is one straight line, this is the other. So if I ask you how many straight lines are there in the alphabet L, immediately I know you all will be screaming already saying there are 2 straight lines, isn't it? There are 2 straight lines. One is straight like this and the other one is leaping like this, right? There are 2 straight lines. Now we'll go to another alphabet, N. Okay, when you take N, how many straight lines do you see? How many straight lines do you see over here? 1, 2 and 3. So you will write there are 3 straight lines. Children, I forgot to let you know that this is how your second standard book is going to look like for mathematics. Okay, I think you would have seen with your friends already last year with your brothers and elder brothers and sisters, but I'm just going to show you how it looks from inside. And I want you all to come quickly and take your books so that we can really start with the portions. Okay, so this is how it looks. This is your chapter first, and what I'm teaching right now is here in this page. Can you see this, children? Right, so I have covered L for you and I have covered N for you. Okay, I'm going to do one more letter. What is that letter? Instead of doing a letter, I'm going to do this thing for you, the last one. Okay, it's a figure. So let's see how we do it. We make a big square, okay, and then we make a small square, and then we join the corners, right, and then they have put a small circle here, right. Now how many straight lines are there in this? How many straight lines? So you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So what are you going to write? 12. We have already done this in our WhatsApp classes, but I just didn't explain it and I gave you homework. I was not feeling comfortable. So now I have explained it and you have already done this part, I believe. But few of you have done some mistakes and I have corrected that. So just see now properly and do it according to how I taught you now. Okay, all the straight lines you have to count and you have to write in these boxes provided here. Okay, now there is a question here that says write English capital letters. What capital letters? Mama letters, that's what your teacher says, right? Capital letters which have two straight lines, which has two straight lines. So now already we have an example here. This has two straight lines, right? Apart from L, which are the other alphabets that has two straight lines? So you have to start recollecting. A, no, it has three, right? B, C, D, and as you go further, you will realize after L, you get T. One standing, one sleeping line. This is again two straight lines. After T, you also have V. V also has two straight lines. Then you have X, which again has two straight lines. I would also call Y as two straight lines because there is one big line and there is one small line. So even this counts to 2, right? So if for the question which says how many letters or which English capital letters has two straight lines, you can write L, T, V, X and Y. I want you to write all the alphabets and check it for yourself if there is any other alphabet which has two straight lines, okay? If you find it, immediately you can WhatsApp to me, okay? Now, there are few alphabets which doesn't have any straight lines. Can you recollect any alphabets which does not have any straight lines? So, let me think. B, but B has a straight line. Then it has two curved lines, right? So, yes, C. C has no straight lines, right? Is it straight line? It's a curved line. There's no straight line in this. Next we have G, right? G. Now don't tell me that this small thing is a straight line. I'm just going to ignore that and say G doesn't have a straight line. Okay? Now after this we have O. Oscar. O doesn't have any straight lines. Then we have Q. Q for Queen. It doesn't have any straight lines. S. S for Sophia Miss. Even S doesn't have any straight lines, right? And the last one is U for umbrella. That also does not have any straight lines. So children, now we have seen in alphabets those which have straight lines and few of them which does not have straight lines. So now I think you can understand what is straight line and what are curved lines as well. From this example you can take and understand what are curved lines. Okay, now I'm going to teach you what are horizontal, vertical and slanting lines. Okay, have a great look at this and understand the whole thing so that I can rub and move on to the next session. So children, our next topic is horizontal, vertical and slanting line. What are horizontal lines? You know them as sleeping lines, right? Horizontal lines are these. Okay, when you see it you can understand. It is lying down and sleeping, relaxing. Now then the vertical line is this. This is all of you in the class. When we tell you to sit down, you are standing vertically up and making us get upset about it. So this is the vertical line. When you stand up, you're standing vertically, right? So this is a vertical line. A slanting line is this line. Usually when you make a triangle, you have a slanting line in that. Okay, so this is your slanting line. Sleeping line, standing line and slanting line. Okay, that is horizontal, vertical and slanting. Now we're going to see a figure, this one, where you will have to count how many vertical lines you have, how many horizontal lines you have and how many slanting lines you have. Now look at the picture and tell me how many horizontal lines do you have. Horizontal lines are the sleeping lines. Which are the two lines relaxing and sleeping here? Yes, this one and this one. So you have two horizontal lines. Now let's see which are the vertical lines. Are these vertical? No, these are slanting. But yes, this line is vertical. So this is one, this is two. There are two vertical lines. Now I think we have lots of slanting lines. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we have 7 slanting lines. So children, now you have understood what is horizontal, what is vertical and what is slanting lines, right? Now I want you all to make this figure in your notebook and count and write. Like I showed you how to count and write, you have to count and write this. This also we have already covered in WhatsApp classes, but I wanted to recapitulate the whole thing with you because without taking the classes we had given you homeworks. Now here it is explained well. So I hope any doubts, anything that you would have had earlier is clarified now. Okay, so now we'll have to move on to our third topic, which is sliding and rolling objects. Okay, so please have a look at that and understand the concept, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay students, now like I told you, we are going to the topic which says sliding and rolling objects. What are objects? Anything like this is an object. Okay, anything that you can touch, feel is an object. So now see, this is a slide I made for you. So I'm going to show you what things are going to slide, what things are going to roll and all that. Okay, so anything that has a flat surface like this, see it has a flat surface, duster. So let's see whether it's going to roll down or slide down. Let's see. Yeah, what happened? It slided down, right? Because it has only the flat surfaces, it is only sliding down. Let me try something else. Let me try with the rubber. Rubber has a flat surface, so we're going to keep rubber and see how it goes. See, it went sliding. Now I'm going to use a pen. So I'm going to keep the pen and see what happens. It's sliding, yes, but do you know that even it has a not only the flat, but it also has curved surface. So let me give it a try if we can make it roll. Wow, it rolls. So anything that has kind of flat surface will even slide. At the same time it will roll. So let's give a try to this coin. Now this coin has a flat surface. We're going to give it a try. There. But also it has a curved surface. So let us see, can we make it roll? Yes, it did roll, right? Now this is cylinder. Cylinder has flat surfaces here and here. So if I keep the cylinder like this, it's gonna slide. But at the same time, if I'm gonna keep the cylinder like this, it's gonna roll down, okay? And last, a spherical object. It can be a ball or any round thing. These round things does not have any flat surface, so it's not gonna slide, it's only gonna roll. How much ever or however you keep it, it's just gonna roll and come down. So now children, you can understand that any object that has a flat surface will only slide. Any object that has a flat as well as a curved surface will even slide and roll. But objects that has only curved surface are going to only roll down. You cannot make them slide. So that we are going to see here. I'll show you where it is there in your book. Okay, so that you can understand and look at your book and understand that better. See here, they have showed you what are flat surfaces and what things slide, what things roll. So when you look at the picture on page number 19, it will give you a clear picture. And even you all slide, right? From your slide, you come down. You love to play slide, right? So sometimes you also slide down. So this is your exercise. You have to see these objects and you have to find out which are going to slide and which are going to roll down and which can do both. So just make a slide like this, like I have made at home, or keep your exam pad. Good enough. You keep your exam pad and try to roll or slide things on that, and you will be able to answer all the questions that are given here correctly. Okay? Now what is our next topic? Yes, I am going to show you two-dimensional shapes. Two-dimensional shapes are mostly those which we draw. Say for example, what I have, this figure that I have showed here, this is a two-dimensional figure. For example, the most commonly known two-dimensional shapes are, what is this children? What is this? This is square. This is circle. This is your rectangle. And this is your triangle, right? So you already know these shapes already from your first standard. You know square, you know circle, you know rectangle, and you know even the triangle, and you should be knowing the spelling of these objects as well, I mean shapes as well, because we have already covered that already for you. But in any case, I had asked you in your WhatsApp homework to write all these shapes 10 times in your rough notebook, and many of you had written it and sent it back to me. Wonderful, good. Now I'm going to show you a three-dimensional objects as well, because now you already know about the two-dimensional shapes. You have to also learn about the three-dimensional shapes. So here I have got some three-dimensional shapes for you. Okay, let us start from the cube. See, this is your square, this is your cube. This square only has one face or two face, right? So that is why called two-dimensional. Whereas this has so many faces. Can you see? Can you see so many faces it has? How many does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this black one is 6, right? So this is your cube, which has 6 faces, right? And then you have your circle. What is similar to circle in 3 dimension? The sphere. You call it as sphere, right? This is circle, this is sphere. But this has only 2-dimensional view. This has 3-dimensional. You can touch it, feel it, and you can see it's round from all the sides. This is your 3-dimensional object. Now the third one. Look at your rectangle, right? And this is your cylinder. You must be thinking, why is ma'am comparing a rectangle to the cylinder? Okay, shall I ask you a question? Tell me one object which, when you throw light from one side, the shadow appears as a rectangle, and when you take the shadow from the other side of the same object, it gives you a circle. You know which one that is? That is cylinder. See this? This is a circle that is there in your cylinder. So this portion and this portion is your circle, and this flat portion is your rectangle. Okay, so just like your rectangle, you have your cylinder. Now with the cone, with the triangle, I am going to show you this cone, which is a 3-dimensional object, right? This thing, when I just show you a cone like this, you will only be seeing a triangle, but whereas when I tilt it and show it to you, it's a 3-dimensional object. It has a circle, it has a curved surface which you can rotate and see, right? So these are 2-dimensional and these are 3-dimensional objects. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. See, this is a cube, right? This is a cube. Now I'm going to open this cube. Okay, I'm going to do some magic. Now you can see the magic. You have a cube. See what happens now. I open the cube. And how many faces do you have in this? I have written it in numbers for you to easily understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So your cube is almost made of how many squares? 6 squares, right? 6 faces. So now you understand when you open it how it looks. This is your cube. Now I also have made a cylinder for you. Can you see the cylinder? Right? It has a circle here, it has a circle here, and it is a cylindrical shape like this. Now I'm going to open this as well. Okay? Okay, this is your cylinder, right? Now see what happens. See? This is your rectangular piece. And what happened to the sides here? See there. You have 2 circles. Can you see this? 2 circles and a rectangle. So this is how your cylinder is made. It is made out of 2 circles and a rectangle, curved. Okay? So this is what you get when you open a cylinder. And the final one is your cone. See here? Can you see the cone? Okay, now I'm going to do the same with the cone. I'm going to change it and I'm going to show you how many faces it has and what kind of a curved surface or a flat surface it has. So students, now this is your cone. See this? You have a triangular curve. It's not a triangle because it's a curved surface at the bottom, right? And this is your circle which was at the bottom. So you know now that 3-dimensional shapes consist of a lot of other shapes together, and it has all the sides. You can see it, you can touch and feel it. So this is your cone. Okay, I'll show you where that is in your book as well so that you understand it better. See here? See this page? How many faces do I have? We know already. How many faces? 6. Now cylinder, I showed you 1 rectangle and 2 circles, right? And the cone here. see this? And the circle as well. See here? Okay, so with this, children, we have finished the first chapter. Okay, and this match the following you had already done in your WhatsApp classes, right? I want you all to write the shapes, the two-dimensional shapes and the three-dimensional shapes 10 times in your notebook. Like you're going to write square and you're going to write it 10 times, and again you're going to write cube and you're going to write it 10 times. So all the four, I'll write it for you so that you know what you have to write. Okay? So now you have already understood fully. So this is your two-dimensional shapes, which are square, circle, triangle and rectangle. Your three-dimensional shapes, cube, sphere, cone and cylinder. So write these 10 times, okay, and submit your homework. So totally I have finished the first chapter completely for you here, and these are the points that you need to remember. The first chapter consists of straight lines, which you have understood. Then it has horizontal, vertical and slanting lines. We have learned from a figure how to count it or how to understand it. We saw the sliding and rolling objects. We saw the two-dimensional shapes, and we also saw the three-dimensional shapes. So this is your first chapter in mathematics for second standard. Children, now again I want to also speak to you a little more about how you have to be during this time. Okay, this is a time very difficult for everyone. So when you are going out, don't forget to wear your mask. Without mask, don't go out. And use sanitizer whenever you are outside, so that you can keep cleaning your hand often. And during this difficult time, I want all my students to be very obedient to your parents. Do not trouble them. Do not ask them for things, because it is very difficult to go out and come back without having an infection. So be very careful, be very disciplined and obedient, my children, and I hope you have understood everything. If there is any doubt, you can always WhatsApp me and I'll be able to explain that to you personally. Thank you so much and have a good day.